Good afternoon. Today is Sunday, October the 3rd, 2021. It's the month of the State Fair of Texas. I've been waiting all year to talk to you about this time. My name is Denise Montgomery, and I'm bringing to you today another edition of Book Talk. As you noticed, I'm just a little bit later. I wanted to make sure that I got everything together, and I don't want to compete with the Cowboys, so I waited. We're going to begin our discussion of I Want to Go. But I can't say anything until I thank Facebook and all of the social media outlets for your overwhelming support of the book. I did a post last week and put the book out there because it is my true story, although I fictionalized it and put it in a story, and the main character's name is Rini. It's my story. The State Fair of Texas opened in 1889. At that time, the State Fair was segregated, and it remained segregated all the way up through the 60s. In 1910, the State Fair officials, they named one day, which was the second Monday in October, for Colored People's Day. My grandmother called it Colored Folks Day. But that was the day African Americans in the entire state of Texas were given to go to the fair. Now, if you can imagine, it was pretty crowded. But I was 10 years old at that time, and it didn't even dawn on me how crowded it was. I just thought it was normal. So in 1955, the Colored Folks Day was changed to Negro Achievement Day. Grandma still called it Colored Folks Day. At that time, again, they put a trailer up right at the entrance of the State Fair. So when you came through, you could go through and see all of the achievements of African Americans of that time. Now, when I wrote I Want to Go, it is my story, as I've said. But I wanted to write it in a fictionalized manner because I wanted to give students and children the opportunity to know the flavor. When I say the flavor, I want you to understand the atmosphere and the tension that was going on during that time in the South. So the story is about a young girl. Her name is Rini Thompson. And Rini lives outside of Dallas, about 90 miles outside of Dallas. Her one desire has been to go to the State Fair. And she's been talking about it all year. Now, her parents have a rule that when you're 10 years old, that's usually when you get a chance to go. Because as Rini puts it, that's the time, or that's the age when you can tell the white folks who you are if you get lost. So Rini is all ready to get ready to go to the fair, and it rains that day. I remember that day just as clear as I'm sitting in this chair. I woke up that morning and I was all excited, and my grandmother was telling me, we're going to go to the fair. Well, we would usually leave about around 12 noon to get there, because we would all ride the bus. There were 6 of us. I had 2 brothers at that time, and there were 4 girls. So we would all pile on the bus with chicken and potatoes and in our little greasy sacks, and Grandma would have pans of chips and pockets full of stuff. And at that time, I didn't really realize why we were taking all that food. We could just buy food at the fair. But Grandma knew that could have been a chance that we may not have been served. We would get to the fair, and Grandma would give us all our little pennies and nickels or whatever, and we knew we were only gonna be riding so many times. But the point was, on this particular day, it rained, and I remember thinking it's gonna stop raining, but it didn't. It rained all day that day. As a result, my grandmother, she called me Lisi. She said, Lisi, baby, we're not going to get a chance to go to the fair today. We'll have to wait till next year. Now, you can imagine a 10-year-old. I'm thinking, well, we just go later this week. Ain't a big deal. We'll just go later this week. She said, no, baby, we'll go next year. And my sisters would come by, and they just pop me in the head and say, oh, get over it. But nobody ever explained to me why. And that moment in time was frozen in my memory. It was just frozen. Of course, later on, I did figure out why we couldn't go, that we are African Americans, colored people as we were called, only had one day that they could go. But at that time, 10-year-old Renee, 10-year-old Denise, I didn't understand. And I remember standing at my mother had a big plate glass window in the front door. And I remember standing at that door going, I want to go. Why can't we go? Why can't we just go another day? So in 2019, I sat down with the help of some other people that bought them in, that helped bring it to life. And I wrote, I want to go. I'm just going to read you a little bit of the beginning of the book. As I said, I am the author. And I fictionalized it because I wanted you to understand everything that was going on during that time, during the South. The name of the first chapter is Not This Time. Grandma Rosie lives in Dallas. We always visit her Labor Day weekend. That's the last weekend before school starts. Otherwise, we won't get to see her until Christmas. I was all set to go when Daddy said we have to help with the church picnic. That darn picnic just had to take place this weekend. We had the whole summer to have it, but they had to go and move it to Labor Day. I need my family, especially my daddy, to go to Dallas this weekend, so he'll be convinced everything is fine. Then he won't have to worry about us having problems with the white folks in Dallas when we go to the fair in October. Negro safety is a big issue right now. Visiting Dallas this month would have finally settled this matter of the fair. I'm not giving up. I still have a little over a month to work on my daddy. The problem started when our nosy neighbors started filling Daddy's head with all kind of crazy stuff about riots and picketing and protests, whatever all that means. They're telling him that Negroes down south are still in an uproar after Dr. King marched over that bridge from Selma, Alabama to the Capitol in Montgomery, Alabama. Then those mean old white police officers started beating them like dogs. My social studies teacher tried to explain it to us when all this happened in March. We all sat in class and nodded our heads like we really understood. But it's hard to get a bunch of 9 and 10-year-olds to understand why Negroes are treated like animals. But we're all supposed to be Americans. Dr. King is determined to get Negroes the chance to vote. I know what he's doing for all of us is the right thing to do, but right now, it's doing nothing to help my cause. Life was so much simpler before Grandma Rosie gave us her old TV. Now all the neighbors make it their business to come by whenever they hear anything on the radio. I guess the news is different when you can watch it. I could have choked my sister Thelma. She just had to go and blab her big mouth and show off to all the girls at church. We got ourselves a practically brand new TV. My grandmother gave it to us. You come by and see it sometimes. I think she was trying to impress her friends. They're all 13. They each have their own bedrooms. She still shares a room with me, her 10-year-old sister. I guess that was her way of feeling special. So as you can see, we've introduced two characters. We have Renee, who is our main character, our protagonist. And Renee has a dilemma. She wants to go to Dallas to the state fair. But as she said, the nosy neighbors and everybody is telling her parents that it's not a good idea to go to the fair at this time. So we will be sharing excerpts from the book as we progress through the month of December. As we progress through the month of October. I guess Christmas is on my mind. So I hope you can enjoy the reading with me as much as I enjoyed writing it and getting it out of my head and on paper. Again, I want to thank you for the overwhelming response to the book, and I hope everyone that ordered the book, you enjoyed it. If you thought about ordering the book, thank you. If you did get the book or it's still in the back burning in your head, I just want to thank you because it meant so much to me to know that a story that I created could come to life. So again, the name of the book is I Want to Go. Please visit my website, Denise, Denise, Montgomery.org for your copy, or it's available on Amazon or wherever fine books are sold, Walmart, Target. You can just find it. Or if you inbox me, I'll be happy to send you an autographed copy and with a little something in the book. Again, I just want to thank you for this opportunity. It's my heart's desire, and I hope you will enjoy the book. As a teacher, as you know, I am a teacher. I included some study guide information for your students, some comprehension questions in the back of the book that you can start a discussion with your students about. So that was the teacher side of me coming out. It contains lots of historical events that happened during that time, and I tried to explain it where students can understand. And I just believe that students, children, as well as adults, after you read I Want to Go, you'll have a better understanding of the flavor and the time. Thank you so much for this short period of time. I'll be back next Sunday and as we read another excerpt. I also want to take this time to just show you some of the illustrations from the book. I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Christina Brown. Christina did the illustrations, and I can't tell you how rewarding it was for me to tell her what I saw in my head. And she brought it to life, not knowing anything that was going on, but she just brought it to life. So the illustrations are just exciting and they're wonderful. As I said, I would just tell her exactly what I was seeing, and she would just bring it to life. So this is Renee, and Renee in this setting is saving up all her money, and she's babysitting the stinky little twins from church. So the illustrations are quite delightful, and as well as the book. I hope you'll enjoy it. Again, my name is Denise Montgomery, and this has been Book Talk. You can go to my website, denisemontgomery.org, to get your copy. It's available on Amazon and wherever other books are sold. I want to thank you again, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.